Hello, Nigeria democracy at a crossroad again. Is this the end of Nyesom Wike, or is this the end of Fubara? And I started by saying Nigeria's democracy is at its crossroad. And this time around, it is River State in the news again. The last time I checked, democracy is about the people. The last time I checked, the most important element in a democratic practice or in a democracy are the people. The people are the king. The people are the ones to be pleased in a democracy. But it appears, and I've said this times without number, that the kind of democracy we have in Nigeria is different from the kind of democracy we see in other parts of the world. That's because democracy in Nigeria is simply contextual. It's just election and periodic elections, political party that makes it a democracy. And then we have a civilian president. That's what makes it democracy. Otherwise, what we have in Nigeria is not democracy. Because how do you explain to me that in River State, somebody who has served his constitutional 2 terms as governor of the state still want to be pleased before he can say that someone is functioning as a governor of a state? How do you explain that to me in a democracy? Now, the dramatis personae in what we have today in River State is none other than the self-styled godfather, Nyesom Wike, and a man who probably was just drafted into the murky waters of politics, and he doesn't really understand that politics, you have to stand your ground. The man, similarly Fubara. As we speak, impeachment proceedings has been initiated by the State House of Assembly that are entirely loyal to Nyesom Wike, to the extent that the State House of Assembly had to even put funds together to buy him a car as a gift. This is really sad what is happening in Nigeria. And to think that because of Rivers, we almost had a constitutional crisis where the power of the president was questioned, whether he has the power to suspend the governor, whether he has the powers or otherwise to suspend civilian administration. All of these came to the fore, and we all discussed this for 6 months. And all this simply because one person needed to be pleased, Nyesom Wike. And the president had to do all of this because of this man. Now, if we are to take everything that the governor of Oyo State said about Wike promising the president that he was going to destabilize the PDP, if we are to take that thing, take what that man said, it simply means that Wike is done with the PDP. Now he's coming for the APC. Now, how would they say he's coming for the APC? Now, he has said in the open that the national secretary of the APC should not meddle in Rivers politics. Is Rivers State different from every other state in Nigeria? Is the democracy in Rivers different from the democracy in Abia or in any part of Nigeria? The state belongs to the people. Governance belongs to the people. The social contract that Fubara took, the oath of office he took, was to please the people of River State, not one person, Nyesom Wike. I think the president really needs to wake up. The president really needs to wake up and call Nyesom Wike to order. Because we've seen all the crises that have happened in the last 2 years in River State. It's simply because one man feels that his personal interest was not fully covered. Now, a new local government was created, new local government elections were held, and all the local government chairmen were allegedly handpicked by Nyesom Wike. What else does he want? Now, nobody's even talking about the resources that have been wasted as a result of all of this political crisis in Rivers. State House of Assembly was burned down. Monies were spent, billions were spent in conducting elections which were cancelled, and funds were withheld from Rivers State. Now they had to conduct new elections. All of this is costing the state. All of these monies would have been used for scholarship, used for road, used for other meaningful things that will better the lives of Rivers people. Now all of this is now being used to pacify one person. Now they've been governors, they've been Peter Odili, Celestine Omeya, Rotimi Amechi. Nobody controlled, no former governor controlled him, even though he served as chief of staff to Amechi. But he wants to control everything. This is not democracy. And we've been told that the president is a defender of democracy. They even erected a billboard that, oh, Tinubu is a defender of democracy. I think Tinubu needs to defend Nigeria's democracy by calling Barrister Nyesom Wike to order. Otherwise, what we're doing in Nigeria is just play. What we're doing in Nigeria is just a sham. That is not democracy. Because democracy and governance should not be about just one person. Well, let's see what happens in the coming days, because the impeachment notice has been issued within 7 days based on constitutional provisions. And let's see, because for me, gross misconduct, that's even vague. They are not even citing, the real thing. They are just saying gross misconduct. That is vague in my opinion. You need to state clearly what it means. And that explains why Wike visited Teketom, Asari Dokubo, just to intimate them about all of this. I think the government, the president, who's the national leader of the APC, really needs to call Nyesom Wike to order, because this is becoming like a democracy as a child's play. And it's becoming of someone holding the office of a minister of the Federal Republic. Let's see what happens in the coming days. Please leave your comment, like, and share, and also tell us what you think about the crisis in Rivers. Do you think Fubara is right, or do you think Nyesom Wike is right? Thank you.